I'm here with the hosts of The Talk, Julie Chen, Sara Gilbert, Sharon Osbourne, Sheryl Underwood, and Eve. First off, a pleasure to have you all here. And Eve, you're new to the show. You joined the show as a permanent co-host last fall. But what's it been like settling into this group dynamic that's already been together for so many seasons?
It was definitely intimidating for sure. But as the weeks go by and the days go by, every day, every week gets easier and easier and better. And all the ladies embraced me and are really nice ladies. And yeah, it's been good. We've been having a great time on the show, and it's been really good. I'm happy to be here.
And what was the decision-making process like, for everyone, when it came to selecting a new host? Was, it an easy mutual decision where everyone realized, this would be exactly the right fit?
Yeah, I think there were a lot of conversations, even leading up to Eve sitting in that chair. We had a lot of on-air auditions. We had a lot of names that came up from each person. And then when the tryouts started, I think it became obvious to all of us when Eve sat in the chair that it felt the most like family, like one of the ladies.
Yeah, it just seemed like she'd always been here. Don't you think?
Yeah.
And we're coming up on the Daytime Emmy nominations, and The Talk has done well the last couple of years. The nominations are going to be announced again on The Talk. Are you excited for those coming up?
No.
I think we just have a fun time doing the show, honestly, and that's just kind of gravy on top. If it happens, great. If it doesn't, you can't ever expect that to happen every year. So I feel like coming off, we just had a great couple years, then maybe it won't be our turn. Who knows? But you just can't think of it that way. You just have to love working with the people that are your friends and having fun every day.
It's a nice celebration for everyone in the daytime space. So like Sara said, whether we take any home this year or we don't, it's like nice to get a nod.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And the show won Entertainment Talk Show host last year, which of course was before Eve joined. So you've got to get her one now, so she'll be halfway to EGOT.
That's true.
Well, fingers crossed.
What was it? Was it a different experience? When all the hosts won last year, as opposed to when the show won Best Talk Show in 2016. Because it's honoring the group as a collective.
I think the person that can answer this is you. Yeah, it was a different feeling. Best Talk Show was great because you saw all these producers that have worked so hard that don't get time in the spotlight, getting their recognition and getting their trophies. So that was amazing. But I felt when they won that and we won for Best Show, I still felt badly that even though the show so much relies on the host, that the host didn't get their trophies, even though they're part of Best Show. So there was just a real sweetness and kind of played on our sisterhood when we won. We really were shocked, and there was something, something so sweet and fundamental.
That to see all the expressions on all the producers' faces, it was like a whole huge group of proud parents whose children just won. Mm-hmm. I felt like they were, in a weird way, like happy for us in a way only like a proud parent with a huge heart pouring out could feel. I really saw that.
Yeah.
It,
and I feel like we're like underdogs, like we're a scrappy group and just of misfits, and so it's cool to be that and get a chance to be up on that stage.
And the show was being considered for its work this past season. Have there been moments or episodes in particular this past season that all of you, any of you have felt where you were especially proud of or excited about?
Yeah, absolutely. Everyone.
I think we just got off the air and we were saying we've had the best A block. Our show is in 5 blocks, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. and or how many that is, 7 blocks, I can't count. And we were just saying, like, that was our most heated debate, but with humor.
Yes.
It was over a parking space.
Yes, but it was with love too. It was like we weren't mad at each other. We just disagreed, but it was funny and it was emotional.
But no one was budging.
That's right. No one was giving it up except for I didn't pick a side at all. And I
Switzerland over here.
And that's right. That's right. And I thought it was kind of funny.
Sheryl.
Yeah, but you know what else I like? I like the bits or sketches have been amazing. When we did Black Panther. Yeah. And then the one you just did. Yeah. It's funny.
The show does deal with a lot of hot topics, a lot of contentious topics, from time to time. And this past season has been, the year of the Me Too movement and, revelations about women's experiences in the industry and beyond. What's it been like exploring those issues, especially on the show that is so driven by, the ideas and experiences of 5 women?
I mean, for me coming in, I think it's part of our duty as women to talk about those issues and to highlight those issues. So honestly, it's been very nice. And Sara said it before, as a sisterhood, like for me, it does feel like a sisterhood. So being able to talk about those topics and come from, I think we always come from a place of respect and a place of love and a place of strength. Being able to showcase that to people, I think is a great thing.
I also feel like this group of 5 women you're looking at, we bring a balance to a conversation like the Me Too movement, where we don't see the world in black and white, and we're not afraid to say there are gray areas to this very controversial, very touchy topic.
And I think it's great for the audience to see that while we have different opinions on things, and the audience can reflect on each comment that's made by a host. I can see in the timeline on social media, people will say, oh, Eve said this, or Sara said this, or Julie, or Sharon, or Sheryl said this. So we seem to intuit what the audience needs to hear from us, and then we put that through.
Well, like when Sharon defended James Franco, I was amazed that she didn't get attacked the way, women attacked Meryl Streep for like what seemed like a very, I don't know how to describe that comment. It was her perspective, and people were disrespecting her for her own perspective of a very touchy issue. And then Sharon goes out there and goes like way out there. And she's Teflon.
Right.
Well, Sharon can say anything.
Yes.
Am I right?
What have been, have there been any topics beyond Me Too and the entire political sphere that have been especially difficult or emotional to explore this year?
Absolutely. The school shooting, the Parkland shooting was completely incredibly difficult, I think, for all of us, for everyone, obviously, in the country. But when we talked about that, it was just truly incredibly emotional.
Yeah, you're trying to be professional, but with tears running down your face.
But
what it is.
I think that speaks to the humanity of the show, because when the topic first came up, and Julie, we're talking about, you're the news person, but you have a heart and you have emotions, and the audience wants to see that you have real feelings, that you're not a chin bot, that you do have a heart and a soul in that, and it's fun to see when Sara really has a strong, passionate feeling. Even if we disagree, we're still sisters, and I think that's what makes our show special, because we can disagree with each other, but the one thing that unifies us is love and humanity and respect. That's right. And how do we come to a better solution? How do we impart some wisdom to people that are watching us? They may need a respite, but what you see is 5 human beings here that are just as hurt and just as passionate about issues as anyone else. We're not, what would you say, out of sense with things, out of kilter. We're not living these entertainer lives where we're above the discussion. We're human beings and we care about our neighbors.
And in addition to everything going on, on camera and on the talk, you've all got busy lives. Sara, you've got Roseanne, which you're also producing. What's it like balancing the schedules and all that day to day?
I think we all sort of operate a balance. It's a group of really ambitious women that aren't happy just doing one thing. We've got kids, we've got spouses, we've got other careers. Cheryl's flying around doing stand-up in a different city every weekend. Eve's back and forth to London, and Sharon too. I mean, it's just everybody's got a very full plate. I think for me personally, I just show up where I'm supposed to show up in that moment.
But the other thing that's great is Eve and we got a chance to get out in the community where we rented out a theater for children to see A Wrinkle in Time and Black Panther. And I think the kids were shocked to see us there. They usually, when someone does something, they may put their money or their name behind it. We're not just entertainers. We're not just personalities. We're even sharing and doing something to do good to us. So I think it's great to be able to juggle all of that and still have full personal life. Come to work every day, do it all over again like it's all my
And what do you have coming up that you're most excited for, most looking forward to that the talk has in the works?
Ooh, we can't tell you that.
I know you have to stay. You gotta look. You gotta watch. Yes. We have lots of great surprises.
Yes.
Oh yes. Elton. When is Elton?
Oh yeah,
Elton soon. Elton John, which is amazing.
Next Wednesday.
Any guests from this past season who you've especially been happy to have on?
Hugh Jackman.
Yeah. Oh, he's great.
Yes.
He was fantastic.
I love when Kaylee Cuoco comes on. I think she's so open about her life and so refreshing, and you think she's going to be one thing because she's been so successful her whole life, and she's so down to earth and so available to talk about her life.
Also, Kristen, why am I blanking now?
Chenoweth?
Kristen Chenoweth, yes, but Bad Moms, Married to
Wiig.
Yeah.
No, I know I want to say Kristen Wiig.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Kristen.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, she's fun.
She's
She's
an
a lot
open
of
book.
fun.
Yeah.
Very much an open book.
Yes.
Yeah.
I loved Lionel Richie was amazing.
Yeah.
Tells the best stories in the world. Allison's Jenny, so happy to see her. And Wanda Sykes is always my favorite.
She's hilarious.
Yeah.
She's so fun.
We like the guy guest and the girl guest. Was it Man Crush Mondays? So we can get some single guys.
I love that.
Yes, okay. We got to vote for. We got 2 votes.
And you mentioned Kaylee Cuoco coming on and being personal on the show, and that's something that you're all doing every day, revealing a lot about yourselves. Does that get easier over time to be just kind of like an open book in front of America?
Yeah.
Depends who you are, right?
Us are the
It's gotten
guests.
easier for you.
It's gotten easier for me. It's been just as difficult for Sara, if not worse.
Yeah.
Is it worse for you?
Maybe worse. There's like a tonnage. I'm like, oh God, again.
But it's not just the host itself, but I love when the guest, the young man who plays Gianni Versace, Edgar, what's his name?
Ramirez.
Yes, and
He's so good.
he was such a great guest, but then he didn't even want to leave, and that makes me proud. And also Ricky Martin was amazing.
Eva, how is it for you to share about your life? Because this is newer to you.
It's very new. I think, I'm used to, like, when I write music, that is, to me, in a sense, a diary. But I think even then, I probably haven't been as vulnerable as I've been these last few months on the show. But it's been, honestly, therapeutic for me.
Yay.
It's been therapeutic. I'm also thinking, coming to it from a place of, you know what? If I can share my story in some way, and some girl in Philly or wherever else can maybe look at me and say, you know what? She went through that. I can get through it. Or look, she's just like me. I can maybe be where she is one day. So I feel like these ladies show up and they give 110% all the time. And it would be unfair of me not to. So I'm actually really enjoying it. It's been great. No, you guys they've opened me up. They've opened me up, but it's been really nice, honestly.
Any story you ladies thought you would never tell and you told on the show? Never. Nobody would ever.
How about you?
Ooh, I've told some stories that you haven't even heard the end yet.
Oh,
You've watched things happen. Oh, Cheryl! That's how much fun we have together. But sometimes I think it's fun when you guys give up something and we go, oh my God, like Sharon talking about the story she told today about the fight.
At the Hard Rock.
Yeah. And you go, what?
Well, you know what I like about that is I think for me, especially because I'm new, I don't know so much for all the other ladies because you guys been together, but for me, I'm discovering who these ladies are as well every time they tell a new story. So that's a nice thing for me.
For us,
yeah,
Eve,
about you.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
About
I
each
mean-
other. That story about Ozzy and ACD.
It's
the
the
best.
best.
I'm still learning. We've been together 8 years. And
But it's unfathomable how many stories Sharon has.
Oh,
Yes,
I know. I
yes.
can't wait to
It's
hear 'em.
any-
I can't wait to hear them all.
Yeah.
Any
Yeah.
topic, like you're like a nuclear conflict. I've been in one.
I survived.
Well, it sounds like there's going to be enough stories to fill another 8 or 9 or 10 or 15 seasons of the show. Yeah, fingers crossed. And thank you so much for talking with me, and best of luck in the Daytime Emmy nominations next week.
Thank you so much.